Hello and welcome to your Mutts Be Fantastic Go Home video. This is a video for Sugar. We're going to start out with doing some games of sit down and stay, and then we're going to transfer to place. Pause. All right, so first thing we're going to go over is we're going to go over mechanics. So whenever you're working with a clicker or you're saying yes, you're going to want to make sure that one, their body is in the position that you want, and two, you're not moving your hands before their body is in position and before you said yes. So you want to do body in position, yes or click, and then get food, just like this. So she is in a down here. She is staying on place. I'm going to say yes or click, and then I'm going to move to get my food. Good girl. Same thing if I have my food in my hand or in my pocket like this. I'm going to click first, yes, and then I'm going to move my hand to get my food. This will just keep your dog from watching your hands, and they'll be more likely to pay attention to what you're saying, which is the goal here. All right, so this is place. It's something that I use for door greeting. I use it for if I need space. It's like a kennel without walls. So for example, if your child is running around, place is a good spot for her so she's not chasing. Good girl. So the only way that she can get off of place is if you say the word B-R-E-A-K. Unless you say that word, she has to stay on this cot. All 4 feet have to be on this cot. If she gets off before that, she needs to be put directly back on. She does sometimes get off from time to time because she is a puppy and she's curious and energetic. However, redirecting back onto place consistently will be essential for this command. Whenever you're not using it, you're going to put it away, and I'm going to show you an example of that. So we're going to say break. Good girl. No treats for this. And then you're just going to put it up. Whoop. Excuse me. Can you pause and wait? And you'll just put it away just like that when you're not using it. Good girl. Yes. Good. Good job. The next thing we're going to talk about is jackpots. So to add value to certain behaviors, I will feed one treat for certain behaviors, and for others that are more difficult, I will give 3 to 5 treats fed one at a time. Good. Dogs understand value, but they can't understand the difference between a pile of treats in your hand, which they equate as 1, but they can tell the difference between them being fed one at a time like this. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good girl. Stay. So when we're working on sit down or stay, we're always going to start small. The first thing I'm going to check on is whether or not I can move my feet, and then I'm going to make sure to click or say yes, and then feed my treat. Stay. Yes. And I'm going to slowly work out. Stay. Yes. And I'm going to make sure, Good. Make sure to put her bottom all the way back where it was. So again, we're going to feed. We're going to make sure to feed where she is supposed to be facing. So this way. So placement is super important here. Stay. Yes. Oh. Good girl. And making sure I can walk all the way around. Good girl. Stay. And making sure I can do things like go to the door. Yes. Oh. Good girl. Good. The clicker is more of a teaching tool. You don't have to use it all the time. Yes, can be used as a replacement. The clicker is mostly for teaching and for accuracy. So when you're teaching these things, it can be really helpful because it's faster than your mouse. As you notice, I'm also walking towards her and back and forth. This is called pressure. So one of the ways that I teach them is I teach them to move off my pressure. So basically, if I'm coming towards you, you should be going into a relaxed position. Yes. Good girl. And when we're playing the sitting down game, I also like to toss a nice get it to reset. So I have another opportunity to play. Ready, ready? Sit. Yes. Stay. Good girl. Get a treat out. Ready? Down. Yes. Good girl. And we just repeat. So the goal with obedience, is to repeat, repeat, repeat with our puppies. Stay. Yes, good girl. Good. Good. So I'm going to add value here. As you can tell, I'm feeding into this because I want her to be a little bit more anchored. Stay. And I'm going to see if I can leave the room. Yes. Oh. So anytime she moves out of position, good girl. Stay. I'm going to repeat what I was just doing. Yes. And I'm going to put her back in the position she was in, which was over this way. Oh. There you go. Good girl. Yeah. Good job. Stay. Same thing. So it's all about repetition. Good girl. So practice this as often as you can. 5 to 10 minutes a day is more than enough. You don't have to do it every day, and skipping days is okay. But building this relationship with her will be really essential for her to translate what she's learned here. And this is why we have the leash. To control feet, which is why she will drag it at home so we can redirect as needed. Because she's a very nosy puppy, and she likes to get into things. As you can tell, she's a sniffer. Good girl. Stay. And when she's excited, she has a tendency to be more curious, more outgoing, more pushy. She likes to scoot. If she's scooting into you, you'll just step into her and put her back into place, just like you saw me. So anytime she's adjusting, I'm readjusting. And the goal is clarity and consistency. I want her to understand what down means. I want her to understand what sit means and what stay means. And anytime she's going into that position, it is implied that she's supposed to stay, even if I don't say it. Stay. I also like to make noise whenever I leave the room, and I like to be as goofy as possible. So with my kids, which they're at school right now, otherwise they would actually be in the video helping, but I'm going to give an example of things that I like to have my kids do. So if we're doing a stay, I like them to be really goofy. Yes. And to act really unexpected. So the goal is not to control your child's movement, but to control hers, and to teach her that just because the child is moving doesn't mean she has access to the child. So the child's running. Oh. Good girl. So that adjustment. We're going to do it again. Yes. Good girl. Good. Oh. Good. And a lot of training is about patience. So waiting for them to remember what they should be doing. And she made a mistake. She stood up or she sat up, but she's not technically wrong because she's still in the stay. So we're just clarifying because we're having her move the stay back and hold the down. Stay. Yes. Good girl. And again, value is high when it's harder. So we're really going to feed into that. Stay. So again, I'm really crazy. With my training. Good girl. I'm really crazy with my training because real life sometimes is chaotic. So it just prepares your puppy for those chaotic moments. So one, they're not overstimulated, and two, they're not surprised or scared because they're used to it. Stay. And you also want to practice relaxation moves. Yes. Making sure that you can sit all the way back too is its own thing. And you'll want to work that in the stay or on place. Go place. Go place. Yes. So same thing. Place. So for this, instead of stay, it's still the hand held out. We're going to say place. With this, you can be a little bit more leeway. She'll hesitate a little bit more with the height, but she might still jump off. If she does, just go put her back on. Yes. Oh. If she gets up off her elbows and isn't in a down, no treatos on place. Only treats when she's in a down. This just makes the down higher value when she's on the cot. It makes her more likely to offer a relaxed behavior. Pause. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to work on leave it. So leave it is a behavior that's really easy to translate to other things. It is what I use in place of no. So the goal is to say leave it instead of no because it has meaning. So what leave it means is that if I have food or if there's something, they have to leave it alone so they can't touch it or eat it. And they have to come and give me eye contact. So I'm going to show you how I teach this. I'm going to leave my food out and available because this is about impulse control. So I don't do anything without purpose. So getting her used to things being accessible and her not being able to access them is really important. I usually start from the hand first. And I'm gonna break up a few pieces over here so I can feed her jackpots and stuff. Let me just get that ready. Okay. And I gotta change hands with my clicker. There we go. So you're gonna put your hand out, and anytime she moves her face away, yes, you're gonna, good girl, you're gonna, hold on, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. She just did it really fast. Good girl. So you're gonna open your hand, and anytime she moves her face towards it like this, you're gonna close it, open, close. And when she gives you eye contact, you're gonna click and reward, and she does get jackpots for this. If she is not giving you eye contact for whatever reason when you try it for the first time, which may happen, you can also use like a, and then you can click and give one treat for that. So the jackpot is only if she gives you eye contact without any cue. So then after you've done this a few times, you can start saying, leave it. Yes. And you should have that really snappy, pretty eye contact just like that. And you're going to feed that jackpot. Let me break up some more treats. And then we're going to put the food on the cot so you can see what that looks like. You're going to progressively make it more difficult. You can also use dirty plates. You can use socks. You can use toys. And you can say this like if she's on walks and she's sniffing, etc. You can say leave it and it has that meaning. Good girl. All right, so we're going to get a couple pieces here. We're going to put it on the cot. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Get that nice jackpot going. That was a little bit harder, as you could tell, so she was struggling to give me eye contact and move her face all the way. So we're going to do it again on this side. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Oh. Yeah, good girl. There you go. I was waiting for her to give that eye contact back before I rewarded because she was really struggling. She's like, it's right between my feet. And we're going to do it one more time just to make sure she understands. So leave it. Good. Yes, good job. Good job. So as you can tell on the cot, and this is a different treat than we've used before, so she was a little bit more excited about it. So again, you're going to keep doing it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good job. Good job. Good girl. And she's getting a lot better at her impulse control. But as you can tell, she still likes to kind of push and scoot in. So we'll do it one more time. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good job. All right, we'll meet you in the next section for leash walking. All right, so whenever we're approaching the door, we're going to ask for a wait and for her to kind of sit behind us. And she's not going to move through the door until you say her name. This is also the same for her kennel door, so that it works the same way. Here, wait. Good. So if this was her kennel door, if she moved forward, I would just close it. Same thing with the kennel. We would just close it until she offers that SIT. Wait. And then you're going to say her names. Sugar. Good girl. Going through the door is the reward. Pause. All right, so when we're doing leash walking, you don't have to use your clicker, but you can. I am going to show you what it looks like if you use one, but I'm also going to say yes. So anytime she goes all the way to the end of the leash, good girl. Anytime she goes all the way to the end of the leash, we're gonna stop walking and stop our feet, and we're gonna wait for her to kind of move back into our pressure. So I'll show you what that looks like here. Let's go. Good, easy. And then I'm going, and then I'm going to reward next to my leg. Let's go. So again, if she goes to the end of the leash, we're going to stop. Easy. Here. And during the first 5 minutes of the walk, she's very distractible, which is pretty typical for her. So I'm going to stop every time. Easy. Here. Good. And just feed next to my leg. And I think she's also pulling because she wants to get to Bronson. She was behind the camera. Good girl. She's pulling a lot more. To behind me? Yeah. Pause. There we go. That's much better. Now she wants to come to me. Good. Good girl. So as long as the leash is nice and slack, like this, we can move forward. If there's tension, I'm just gonna stop. Let's go. Right there, there's tension, so I'm stopping. Good girl. I'm rewarding next to my left leg. Good girl. So that she'll learn to come back to me. Let's go. Easy. Easy. Good. I kind of had to bump her a few times that time. Environment, you might see a little bit of a delay. That's pretty normal. Good girl. We don't walk on this side of the street very much. We usually walk on the inside. So this is new. Good girl. Well, that and they have dogs in this yard. So one of the things I'll do if they kind of get stuck is I'll let them smell what I have to kind of remind them what we're doing. Good girl. So as you can see, she still remembers what she's supposed to be doing. It just took her a little bit to follow through. Yes. Good. Stay. Yes. Stay. Yes. And we're working the stay is the same as inside. You're just gonna start small. Oh, and you'll have your leash out so you can step on it. That's for safety. Stay. And don't move too far away from your leash too soon. Like right now, she seems a little jittery, so I'm gonna stay really close first. And I'm gonna work my way out. Yes, good girl. And the same thing for working behind, stay. So outside, she'll be a little bit more sensitive about you going behind her. She'll wanna be able to see you. So just take that in stages. Good girl. Remember to say good as a continuation so she knows that she is technically correct. I'm just waiting for her to show me the behavior that she's supposed to be doing. Good. Good. You're very scoochy. Good. I'm going to take the time to be extra precise if I need to be. Good. Stay. Yes. Good. Stay. Yes. And again, we were walking behind, so we're going to take this in stages. One step behind here. Good girl. Stay. Yes. And we're going to do this from both sides. Stay. Yes. Good girl. Good job. Now that was really good. We're going to toss it. Get it. Get it. Good girl. Make sure we get our leash. And let's go. Let's go. Yes. Good job. Remember, we are feeding lots of treats because we're still conditioning an adult dog that we want. She's a baby, so we need to be showing her what she should be doing and how she should be doing it. And that'll require a lot of reinforcement on our end. And this will fade with time. Good. Yes. Good girl. Let's go. Good. Yes. Right here, babies. Oh. Alright, and that ends your Must Be Fantastic Go Home video. Make sure to take your walks in small sections. It's more about how you get there, not how far you get. So start slow, start with one street and work up to around the block and things like that. Make sure to practice, and remember that socialization is going to continue from here. So she'll need to be taken out to see lots of people and lots of dogs and lots of other things like sounds and stuff to help with a lot of her noise sensitivities and sensitivities around dogs. All right, bye. Yes, good girl. Yes, good. Yes, good job. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good job. Yes, good. Yes, good. So one of the things that I do, stay, is I position myself between her and whatever makes her nervous. So the dogs ran up to the fence a minute ago. She got a little nervous. She offered this down for me, so she just offered it naturally. Did really, really good. So now I'm going to release her free and let her kind of look at a little bit closer range. She's choosing to sit with me. Yes. Good girl. And turn her back to the fence, which is great. Yes. She's not really scared. She mostly feels the need to alert. She might be a little afraid, but she's pretty confident. She just kind of just wants to talk about it. what she sees and what she hears. Break. Yes, good girl. Good. Yes. You're such a nice girl. Oh, can you get it? Did you see it? Right here. Go get it. She's like, I'm going to lay down. All right, here we go. Oh. Good. Yes, good. So the dogs are kind of rushing the fence. So I'm just going to use this to my advantage. And we're going to keep her at a distance where she's comfortable. So she can pay attention to me. If she can turn away from them, yes, she can be really comfortable. I am using the look at that game here. Good girl. She's like, I'm not going to move. Wah, here. Good. Oh. There. So you're going to want to be at a distance that is comfortable for her. And you're going to want to approach slowly. So I actually started like way far out on the other side of the parking lot, and then we slowly worked up to where now we're right next to the fence, and she's doing really good. But it took about 10 minutes for her to really like relax into the environment, and that's pretty normal for her and for puppies in general. Let's go. So remember just to take your time. If she's barking, you're going to want to back up. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. She's doing really good. She knows dogs are over there, but she's choosing to sniff and just be really passive, which is exactly what you want. Good. They're right over there. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Oh, oh. Oh. So you'll step in front of her just like this. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. So as long as she's looking and staying and holding her downstay, she gets fed for that. Yes. Even if she boofs a little bit, that's okay. The goal is for her to be thinking about what she's supposed to be doing, which is not standing at the leash and barking. Yes. Oh, 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 oh. It's okay. If she makes a mistake, you'll just correct her by stepping into her and adding pressure with your leash if needed. So you'll just kind of grab down your leash. Yes. Good. And so she'll need lots of practice with this because she's very boofy at dogs. And it's pretty much the only thing that she boofs at fairly consistently. Good girl. Oh, good. Good job. Stay. Yes, good girl. Stay. Yes, good girl. I'm gonna give a jackpot for that. Good. Yes, good. And one more. Good job. Good. That was really good. And so about 15-20 minutes is enough. Once she kind of settles in the environment, you're pretty much free to go home or stay and hang out a little bit longer. I wouldn't actually utilize the dog parks currently because she is very much afraid of dogs, and any kind of poor interactions can make that worse. But you can come to the dog park and work on things like seeing other dogs. Oh. Good. Put her all the way back where she was. Good. But seeing other dogs and hearing other dogs, good girl, and being really neutral is going to be important for her. Good, yes. Doing really well. Just take your time. She's maturing.